well, we got to reset the foundation, and then oh no, we got to replace the roof, and like all these things start coming up. And so as we were talking about it and planning out this release, it became really clear to me that like if we wanted to do it, we should do it the right way, the way that it deserves to be done, and we should just early on say, no, this is all we're doing. This deserves our full attention. It's just going to be a new episode. It's just going to be a brand new episode. And so when we kind of came to that conclusion, then I asked Jeremy, like, okay, well, if we're just going to make a new episode, because originally the pitch was that this was going to be an unvaulting kind of a touch up that was going to launch on alongside a continuation of the Kings and Queens arc. But then, thinking about all the times we've done this in the past and how it always kind of spirals and bloats and everything in a good way, right? Because we want it to be quality, we want it to be interesting. I knew that we probably weren't going to have everything we needed from the VO we had from the original version, that we probably have to hire Lisa LoCicero again to do pickups, in which case, well, like,
we're gonna hire her again.
You gotta pay her the same amount of money if you do like just 10 lines or 100 lines, right? So so all these things that's the things I think about as an executive producer now. But anyway, so I went back to Jeremy and said, okay, well, if we're just going to do one episode, if we're not going to do the Kings and Queens and this, we need to pivot to this. Like, should we just not do this now and do Kings and Queens instead? Maybe we do this over a longer period of time in the background and not launch it with this season. But then Jeremy made the argument, and I think he was right. Clearly, I thought he was right because we're doing it. We did it. That it is the 60th anniversary of Star Trek, right? We want to celebrate that, and we want to do it with something that gives us the opportunity to bring in Robert Picardo, he was on Voyager and Starfleet Academy, and bring back this really beloved series of missions from Star Trek Online's past. And this is the first part, right? And there are other parts of the story that, if you've already played the old versions of the episode, I think you'll know what I'm hinting at, right? That we want to make sure are back in the game for Star Trek's 60th anniversary later this year. So that's kind of the whole like decision tree that we walked down as we were trying to okay, what is the next step for Star Trek Online? How can we celebrate the 60th anniversary of Star Trek? How can we bring back these beloved characters and missions into the game in a way that's satisfying for everybody? And it also offers something new, because I guarantee you, even if you played the original missions, 8 years ago at this point, this is not the same mission. It is nothing. It is from the ground up rebuilt. So you will experience lots of new cool stuff when you play it again.
Well, I was going to say, like, once we, mainly you, had made that decision that we were just going to focus on doing it right, as you put it, it actually freed us up to make some very important design decisions about where we were going to go. Things that then ended up informing the excellent work that Arena and Flo have done on this episode. We realized, playing the old episode, for example, that a lot of the important story beats that we all remembered were very much tell, don't show moments in those episodes, where it just kind of popped up as a beat in the contact dialogue, and you as the player didn't have any agency involved in it. It was just a thing that kind of happened in the background or off screen. And that didn't match with the nostalgia that at least I as a player had for when I played through these things. It was like, that felt like an important thing. And so if we're going to redo the whole story, we can make it an important thing, and we can make you involved in it to some extent there, and make it a more interactive part of the story. And the other thing that, this allowed for us was bringing in new actors and getting all new environments as well. And the opportunity to, as Thomas was just saying, like, by revamping it or actually overhauling it completely, really, it is my hope as the lead designer that even for veteran players who have played through this story arc, will still feel like it is a new experience. It is a new part of Star Trek that we're adding on.
Heck yeah. So
Absolutely.
then the really interesting thing on that is, first of all, I want to say we got a compliment in chat on how great the VO writing, cast, and direction all were. That was from a Chris Perucci. Does anyone know that name at all? That's our lead audio designer in chat. Flo, I want to throw to you because this is, the first time for this game that you've had to start writing and narrative designing on recreating and updating an older piece of content for Star Trek Online. What's the process like to go from, an older mission and, like Jeremy and Thomas were saying, trying to make it more show, don't tell, and trying to, make it both of those things, that it's a new mission but also an old mission?
Yeah, I think actually I'm gonna end up probably handing off a lot of that to Arena. Typically, as senior narrative designer, I would pitch the story concept and narrative research, but we took a sort of hybrid approach. The conceptual phase landed with Arena, and that was an intentional decision. We decided that I would focus on the next release instead, and we worked like that together for a while. So there was a partial shift of ownership that also allowed me to get more into the engine. So that was pretty cool. I would say eventually the responsibility fell back onto me when it came to creating game writing, like shippable game writing and voice direction, that kind of stuff. But yeah, in this case, the conceptual questions are probably more for Arena. She really led the charge on the story pitch, the research, the remaster, all of that. And I'm really grateful we did it like this, because often, planning, writing, and that kind of stuff can be kind of a solitary experience, even though you get a lot of feedback from leadership. So yeah, we're getting the opportunity to work more together. I don't know if maybe you want to comment about how the remaster was more of an overhaul and all the work you did basically to bring that to life.
I was gonna say, I sit corrected. Let's throw the same question to Arena.
Okay, so what was the process like? I mean, first I started playing the old content, right? And since initially we planned to just overhaul it a bit and bring it up to speed with our current standard, I was really looking into the gameplay that we had and thinking about, okay, how can we improve everything here? And then at some point, when we took the decision to actually make this something new based on what we had, I got to do a lot of digging into Star Trek lore and like see how we could really piece all these different Star Trek eras together and tell a cohesive story, how we could build up the villain that we have here, and how we could showcase other characters that appear in the story and really give them some spotlight. And yeah, that was super interesting. I got to rewatch also quite a lot of Voyager because I needed to know everything about Meryl. So and I'm a big Voyager fan, so I really loved that part.
What a tragedy for you, twisting your
own. And yeah, it was really, really just getting my teeth into the matter and seeing how
I think the part of that process that I enjoyed the most working with both you, Flo, and Thomas was kind of, we took this process of, once we had decided that we were going to do a more drastic overhaul, we went through the old stories and kind of pinpointed what our pillars were. What's the important story beats that we know have to be carried through in the new edition? And then we were able to, at that point, it gave us freedom to understand what we were going for with each act, while having also the freedom to reinvent the connective tissue that sort of bound them all together. And a lot of that translated into incredible story beats for our various different actors to do. I know this is a big sidebar, but my God, guys, this voiceover, the acting in this episode is probably the best we've had in quite some time.
Lisa Locicero goes so hard on this, and you can't do that without a good director backing you up. So well done, everybody. It's great. I can't wait for you all to play it. I know Thomas said if you played the episode already, I think the servers have been live for 23 minutes, so I'm sure some of you have already beaten it.
Sorry, I meant like if you played the old version.
Oh, you played the old version. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Rachel, why did you get an epilepsy warning when logging into the game? That's a very good question. Flo, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, that might be on me if it's the same content warning that I'm imagining. I write content warnings for news articles and things like that, and we got good feedback on content warnings. People appreciated them. Things like, loss of player agency or disturbing visuals, flashing lights warnings, that kind of stuff. So
I think we did a bit of a body horror warning. For
yeah,
the last episode.
Empyrean episode for corruption. I think it's just we would rather have you read one extra line and be extra prepared and make sure that we take care of all our players as much as we can in that regard. So yeah.
Nice. We just got a comment that says accessibility is always important, but it also comes from Discolexia, which. Excellent name. Well done. Very appropriate. But actually, I was referring to the epilepsy warning that we just put on the front of the game. And I think that that might be more of a Jeremy or Thomas question then. Where that came from and why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah. We ultimately, it's something that most games nowadays do have an epilepsy warning. There are strobing and flashing lights. If you play any TFO in Star Trek Online, you know that applies to us too. It seemed like it was time to add that to Stowe. If you don't want to see it anymore, you can disable it. There's a checkbox there. Just make sure to say "Don't show it to me again." You click apply, and then it'll go away. But it's important to give people proper warning. When they're making choices about what to play, or at least they can be prepared if they do play.
Yeah, and I mean we have had a couple of things get reported to us on the Discord that we're working to fix that involve epileptic seizures and things of that nature. But while we are working on fixing those, it made sense to just put it on the front of the game so that everybody is fully informed going in. All right, as Jeremy posted on the Discord and I posted on social media, we're not going to go into too many spoilers for the mission for the beginning of the stream here. Jeremy, sorry, I posted your report about Chronotron weapons, and Jeremy immediately posted Gornatron. I should have a Gorn pun contest. Anyway, that'll go on for 3 weeks. I just wanted to do a last question to you, Thomas, because I know you have to go and get some stuff done, unless you want to hang out. And that was, what does it mean to you? These missions were missions that were in the game when you first started working on Star Trek, and then you were, lead artist or art director when the missions were removed. What does it mean to you to be able to bring them back?
It's just like anything that we get to do on for Star Trek Online it's a privilege just to be able to work on a video game at all, and then not let alone work on a Star Trek game. And so I think we all take that responsibility really seriously. It's something that I certainly take seriously, and so when we have these opportunities, I want to be sure that we make the most of them. I hope that people feel that way about these updated missions, because I think that there's a game that's 16 years old, for it to grow, to change, to update, and improve itself. I think that's there's nothing more Star Trek than making yourself a better version of yourself, right? I think that's us just sort of fulfilling our mission, frankly, and I'm proud to do it. I hope people enjoy it, and I can't wait to get people's feedback on it and for them to see kind of where it's going, because it's really cool.
Heck yeah. Well, if you need to jet, you can, Thomas, or you're welcome to hang out. I was going to throw our next question to Phil, because, we talked about narratively updating these old episodes and bringing them into the, present modern STO. But I know it's always a challenge, too, to take, some older content and make it look fresh and new and exciting. What was your and your team's sort of approach to that?
I'm going to drop Thomas in it now. I think I was missold this whole thing at the start when he was like, "We're gonna unvault these episodes, and it's gonna be like, you know, the whole thing's there. We've got loads of character art. We've got use the maps. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be a quick one." It's like, yeah. I have this other idea and this idea, and it was like the thing snowballed, and we had some awesome ideas.
Yep.
It was really cool to go through that process and kind of see those new ideas kind of coming out and thinking, oh, we could do this now. We could do this with cutscenes now. We could do this with character art now, and that was really fun. And it was much more exciting, really, to be honest. It was a really exciting process to go through the whole thing and see how much we could hopefully improve it, expand upon it, and just do a really, really cool story. In terms of the actual work itself, we kind of had two main focuses. Thomas was really key that we looked at character art. We looked at some of the main characters in the story, and we really tried to look at see what we could do to up them. Am I allowed to say the character, or should I?
Yeah,
Is that obvious already?
Everybody knows that Morale and the
Okay.
Doctor are in it, so that was announced. So we're good on that.
Okay, so the Morale and Doctor, we looked at them. We looked at those as two key characters that we wanted to do, and just like what could we do with them. So we looked at going back to the sculpt phase with both characters and just up-resing them. Worked with the character team to try and use some new techniques, looking at head scan data, kind of just a bit of higher quality kind of detailing on the face, and then just trying to make sure that detail came into the engine a little bit better. Then we worked on our lighting quite a lot to make sure that the lighting could hopefully sustain the extra kind of detail on the faces. And we did new hair for the character, well, for Morale, not for the Doctor. And then we did a lot of work on Vivat as well. We wanted him to be a really key character that we wanted to spend a lot of time on redesigning. So we went back to concept with him, had a whole load of concepts done, looked at his history and you know how we wanted to build him up as hopefully a layered character, and we have a cool new costume for him, cool new head sculpt, new hairstyle, and yeah, that was our first main focus really on the art side.
Very cool.
We had one other main focus. Oh no.
Finish what you were
Shut me
saying.
up.
Your other
So-
main focus. You paused for half a second. And my brain was like, "He's finished his thought. I should jump in. Please go ahead."
I was just going to. So the second main focus really was some environment work. Really, I would say. We looked at the maps as I was teasing beforehand. We did look at the maps and we thought, what can we reuse? We have reused quite a lot of stuff, which is great. But there was a few key locations that we used to focus on, and towards the end of the story, I won't give anything else away. We tried to focus on just getting them to a really nice standard and build up to a nice climax. So we worked with the concept team first to kind of craft some cool new locations, and then with the environment team, a lot of work on the lighting, like I say, a lot of work on VFX. I think it all came together really nicely. Hopefully everybody will like it when they play it.
So we have a couple of concept pieces that you guys sent over to me beforehand. Do you want to take a look at those and talk through some of them? Here, let me share my screen with you so y'all can see this before I which image I have pulled up. All right, is that screen share going through okay for everybody?
Yep.
Cool, and it hasn't crashed anything yet. All right, so this is the first one y'all sent me. Tell me a little bit about this location and the sort of environment we're looking through on it.
So this is the Hattoria location, and the idea was that we wanted to do a bit of world building.
Congratulations, Admiral.
To really feel like I was kind of describing it as kind of like a a Bond's villain's lair or base or something, right? Where you kind of hide, and it's kind of like a secret location. I wanted it to feel like a real proper location. We wanted to feel like a planet, feel like a place. And so we did a whole load of work on that. We did a bunch of work on the concept here. This is in the location. It's a Klingon location. Some other technologies, let's say, influence of the design. I don't want to go any further than that. But it was really nice to kind of put this together, looking at the lighting. I think on the last episode, we went quite dark. Maybe kind of a bit more terror themed or whatever you want to call it. This time we wanted
put
to
a baby head skull on a dinosaur, and I will never forgive you.
They were wonderful creatures. They had little
do some
like
twisted stuff.
I know.
Yeah. So with this one, we wanted to go for a different feel, a different mood. I think it was really key to try and make it feel a bit retro. We wanted to kind of really lean into the feel and the kind of style of Star Trek VI, the Undiscovered Country, and we put a lot of work into that. It is a bit dark in some areas. It is a bit moody too, but hopefully it does have a kind of different feel and more of a retro feel, I'd say.
One thing that I
oh, sorry, I was going to say real quick. One of these concept art, all the concept arts we're showing are by Goken, by the way, who is in chat. And yes, these are zoomed out. We can talk to you about that afterwards, buddy. But these are zoomed in a little bit. Yeah, go ahead, Jeremy.
I just wanted to say that even though we reinvented this episode on the story side, like almost completely, we did want to still try to reuse as much existing assets from the game as was possible, a little bit of uprising. So like I actually just felt like kudos to you and the environment team, because the set piece that we're showing the concept art for is almost entirely new. It's not entirely new. It also plugs into an existing set of kits, slightly updated, but really are like, it's just, I think, a really cool testament to the talents of the team that we can look at something that already exists, might be a little old, and we can say, well, we can just give it a coat of paint and then use this set piece to really draw the rest of it into the modern era, and still make it feel like cohesive and really like it's all one thing, even though it is not. A lot of new work was created for this one hero chamber, you might call it.
Absolutely, and I should say we did reuse a whole bunch of things from the past. A lot of great work from that people have done in the past that we kind of took and we kind of stepped on the shoulder work. So yeah, it was some really nice. So this is kind of like one central piece that we kind of did for the end. Gokhan did a great piece of work here with Adria very closely, and Arena as well, to make sure that it was how we wanted the episode to go. And I don't want to give away any spoilers, so I won't say any more about it.
Okay.
Well, cool. I want to give away
Adria, who you just shouted out, is in chat too, by the way. So, and Jeremy and I are on a delay again, I guess, because we're stepping on each other constantly. Sorry, buddy.
There was a little bit of additional struggle, just to call it out, because like the art team was throwing in such a great work on this, and then I kept having to step in and say, but it's a boss fight, give us some room.
We have to be able to take any step in any direction, guys, please. Oh, that's awesome. So on content design front, Arena, is this, I know you worked on the narrative stuff with Flow, were you also working on the content design part of, like, translating, once these environment artists had translated this into the game, like placing, the encounters and things like that, and what was that process like?
Oh, what was that process like? So luckily we had. I worked on all the acts. I got some help later on in the process by Nico, who is an awesome colleague and who helped me a lot with bringing this over the finishing line. So big shout out to him, and thank you for all the help there. But basically, yeah. I did the content from start to finish there, and I think if you have a map that already exists, which was the case for a couple of them that players are going to see, it's really like how do I get the story that I want to tell here into gameplay action, and how do I place this gameplay action on this map, right? And here we have a couple of rooms, so that was easy and hard at the same time, because if you have rooms that are defined already, you need to make sure that you get everything in. But it's easier because you're not sitting in front of a white space where you're like, okay, but what could this room look like? So yeah, once we had the story and we knew what we wanted to tell there, it was really like, okay, the player is going to do this action because it's important for the story, and the action is going to look like this in this space. And that's
one thing that I think you did really great, Arena, early on, was you put forth this idea that even from the very beginning, when you first get to this map, or shortly soon after, you could see your destination.
Yeah.
You set this up. The concept art, as pretty as it is, doesn't show this, but it's actually like an upper level where you can actually see down into this. So very early on, when you get there, you get to like, that's where I'm going. And so the rest of the action on this act, it's really it keeps reminding you that that's your eventual goal, that's your destination.
Yep.
I think that was a really good call to get in there early.
Yeah, I think most of the work actually went into the last map, because that's the new one, right? Like where this content or concept art also like lives at in 3D. So, and that one went to a lot of iterations. Like if you have a completely new map, you can play so much and you can have so many ideas, but then you really need to make it work and you make this space believable. And I think our environment art team did an absolute amazing job there. Like I love this map so much. I've played through this content a bazillion times at this point because I'm playing through all of it, I'm testing all of it, right? But I love going into that map, and I really, really loved how it started feeling alive and really started feeling like an actual space where you could be and where you could see all these things happening. So, yeah,
awesome.
That was great.
Big shout out to Shashank and Corby, our environment artists, for bringing this together. They did some really, really nice work on it. And all the VFX artists as well, they really put a lot of work into it. Andrew, Toby, and Ariel all did various parts of it, so it was a real team effort. But...
yeah, unfortunately they couldn't make it to the stream today. We did try to have everybody who worked on this update on here in one form or another today. Didn't work out that way, but next time we'll get them on, unless they don't want to come on streams, and that is also okay. So you gave a shout out to Miku a second ago, and I want to follow up on that. Miku, what?
I think that was. I think maybe Irina was mentioning Nico.
Yes.
Oh.
So we have Nico and then we have Miku,
Yeah.
but Miku also. Miku also worked on this.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I'll just. I will diminish in shame and leave forever. But I know Systems did a lot of hard work on these content updates too, and as Systems is sort of the, arcane, magical inner workings of the game. I don't actually know, despite having been here for nearly a decade, like what kind of stuff. What kind of systems work happens on an actual episode? So could you go into that a little bit, Miku?
All right, so we do some magic here, and there's a lot of things cooking in the background. So I played a very small supporting role in this episode. Literally, all the props is to Nico, Arena, and Flo, and everyone else for putting everything, the whole package together. I just sprinkled a little bit of magic into there. So how in some games you have a little timed activity where you kind of have to. Or where you can, like, if you're good enough, you can just kind of dodge it.
Yeah, quick time
we've
event.
implemented it's kind of different from a quick time event. What I'm trying to describe, but it's more like like you feel like a secret agent going through, like a security sort of like
okay. Yeah,
system. And so we have these new sort of mob types now that can do. If you're fast enough, you can dodge them, or you can also run into them and then trigger the security system for the area that you're going to be playing in. So there's a quite a challenging configuration. I challenge you to make it through there without without triggering something. Can you do that?
All right. Well, we're gonna watch me do that later, and I'm pretty sure the answer is no. But we'll find out together. But while I've got you, Miko, you also did a lot of work on putting together the Undiscovered event, which is, for those of you in chat who are excited about it, which I know is all of you, is the way you can get the Cavort for free. What kind of work goes into like setting up an event like that, making sure all the different pieces of content work with it, putting it all together?
In terms of that's when we get into the sort of back-end systems work. So let me see if I can explain it in a fun way.
We have Thomas right here. Thomas, can she explain the back-end systems work?
I mean, I pretty much play with spreadsheets. So it's kind of been nerdy, but essentially we make sure that there's, this isn't our first episode sort of events that we do together. Pretty much this is a tradition. Every time we sort of release, when we release new episodes, we try to encourage players to go through it. And so having this extra treat on top is sort of our gift to you, and it just sort of encourages you to do the activities that we've made, such as the DSEs and such as this wonderful episode.
Our scouts have found an attack element.
Pretty much, there's a bunch of back-end coding that sort of goes into this, but essentially, to tie it to the episode, it's actually interesting because I don't actually need to touch the episode to get those rewards working, but it's crucial to know where the things that I'm hooking up to end up in the episode, and it's more about the order of when you receive it. I'm kind of vaguely saying it, but basically at the time that you beat the mission and you get the reward, that's sort of when the kickover from the magical back-end spreadsheet systems ends up on your computer, or ends up on your character, and you get the sweet rewards. And yeah.
The event setup process, I think Miko's underselling it a little bit, probably because not sure how much we can talk about behind the curtain. So that was going to be my next thing, was to throw to you to Jeremy to be like, tell her how much more she can say. Well, I just want to make sure that you're not downplaying your own involvement. Like, setting up an event is one of the more complex things that systems do these days. And while we have a habit, we have a good documentation of what you have to do, there are dozens, maybe hundreds of things that have to get touched for every little event. There are custom data structures for the event itself, UI hookups, text hookups, reward hookups, but then there's also like the episode itself. The rewards for that have to give you the daily progress correctly and also be correctly event gated so that after the event ends, you're not still getting progress. And it also has to be set up to give you bonus once you've completed the main thing. And then the existing TFOs that we included in this event, because we didn't have a new one, also have to go back and get touched so that their event gating is correctly turned on, the rewards work correctly, yada yada yada. There's so much that goes into this, and we touch almost every aspect of the game for these types of events, and hopefully it's all invisible to you.
Yeah, that's kind of my role, just to be invisible over here, just doing a little bit mad.
So I'm gonna do a follow-up question for more information. What's an event gate, and how do they work?
So pretty much we have times that we want you to see things, and we have times that we don't want you to see things, and it is important we set it up right, because otherwise you do things when you aren't supposed to see them.
All right, I'll add a little bit more there because I understand how these work. If an event gate is on, you can see the thing. If an event gate is off, you can see the thing. You can't see the thing. So, for example,
pretty much.
On Tribble, when the Cavort accidentally went live on the Reclaim store, an event was created and turned on to hide it. that was then had to be turned off when the update went live to holodeck so that you guys could reclaim the board. That kind of thing. Well, very cool. All right. Well, I want to talk about one last thing before we get into spoiler zone population spoiler, and just dive into the DSEs a little bit. We went into them in pretty in depth last week, but I just kind of want to get now that they're live, we made a bunch of changes on Tribble in the last couple of weeks. Jeremy, do you want to kind of go through the state of DSEs currently and where they're at and where you expect them to go in the future?
Sure. So first of all, most of the changes that we did in the last 2 weeks that you might not have seen on Tribble, because not all of them made it there, were primarily UI based, and based around the pickups that you get in sector space, compass changes, map changes, things like that. The content itself for DSEs, if you've been playing under Tribble, we've been really happy with that for a long time, and so have most of you. Thank you for offering your feedback. We were really happy to see just how engaged a lot of you were with that, even on Tribble. We're looking forward to seeing how players actually play it on live as well when we get a cohort of players actually, a cohort cavorting in your new cohort.
Yes, exactly like what it says in chat right now. Good job, Jeremy.
Yeah, I stole Morgana. But anyway, the content, I hope you all try it, have a good time. It is meant to be. It is very purposefully, very lightweight, very easy to play, kind of brain off content, just get in and grind, right? We all like that in our video games from time to time. And a stark contrast to the episode, which is very much brain on.
Yes.
Catch up on Star Trek when you're playing it.
Yeah, you can watch it.
It'll really put you in the mood.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
We've made
Sorry.
like, I will admit, like the content of Deep Space Encounters is pretty lightweight, and like I said, we put it together already. It's been in a good state for some time. The UI, though, I cannot stress enough how much the compass has changed my gameplay already as a player in every game. Even the improvements that we've made to some just what shows up in the compass when you're doing ground content. It's really hard to explain. It's more of like I just feel like I'm more connected to the world, that there's more out there to do, that there's more to discover and reach out for, now that the compass is there and kind of showing me in a more direct manner. Like the minimap's always been there, it's always had the information, but I don't know, it just feels really different with the compass. And I'm really proud of the UI team that has really, I kind of stepped down to design for the compass, although honestly heavily inspired by other video games that already exist. I wasn't reinventing the wheel here. But I'm really proud of our software engineers and UI artists that really brought it to life for me and really made it happen, because I think it's wonderful.
Quick question from Red Hot Freefall in chat. God, I love everybody's names. What does the T number sign mean with the DSE stuff? I don't actually know the answer to that one.
Tier number? Oh, they're probably talking about featured quadrant. There's a little
okay.
T1, T2, T3. That's the reward tier that you're after. Tier 1 is the reward level, and as you grind up, I think it goes to tier 5 if I remember correctly, and you can get 5 different tiers of increased reward. You play DSE, the more reward gates you get, the more they go up.
Right. Dark Dragon, yes, console will get the compass too, just not until this update hits console. So look forward to it then. Right. Well,
I do a shout out to Petra. As Jeremy said, the UI team, the DSEs, that was a big piece of work for the UI team, and Petra on the UI team did really great work there on the compass, different versions of it, and a lot of iconography. Thomas helped us out an awful lot on that one as well. So thanks as well. Yeah,
that's another one where we thought at first blush it was going to be a simpler thing, and then it turned out to be.
That seems to be the theme of this update. We start with a small idea, and then the small idea gets very big, and then we have to bring it back down to medium.
But for so many good reasons.
For so many good reasons.
Hope it's worth it, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Hopefully everybody will enjoy it.
I love it. There wasn't seeing. There was a question I had, and my brain just yeeted it. So instead, I'm going to say, we're going to head into spoiler territory now. So, red alert, spoilers. Red alert! Spoilers!
I think
Red alert,
I think this is a
spoilers.
good point for me to hop off. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna be around. I'm gonna probably play the episode for myself and just see how things are going and do executive producer stuff. So thanks everybody. Thanks for playing.
Oh, hey, Thomas, quick important question before you go.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Ghostbusters?
Oh man. Well, anyway, no, I just want to say it's always exciting and nerve-wracking whenever we launch a new season. We hope you guys enjoy the mission and DSEs and everything, and we're looking closely at your feedback. We'll make sure that to take a look at all that as we progress through the week here and address any big issues that come up. But yeah, and I want to shout outs, especially thank you to the people who got on Tribble and played Deep Space Encounters and gave us a lot of great feedback. So just to make sure that we didn't remove the stars on the holodeck.
Yep.
We really do appreciate your time, and they're very grateful that you play the game and everything. So I'll take off. Enjoy the rest of the stream, everybody. Have fun talking content. It's a really cool mission. I hope you all love it. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Thomas. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Thanks, Thomas.
Phil, did you need to run for the hills as well, or do you got a few more minutes?
I am going to head off in a little bit. I can stay for another 10-15 minutes.
Right, cool. Well, I'm gonna head into game, and I'm going to share my screen with all of you so you guys can see where I'm going. But this time I will share Star Trek Online, so you don't need to see everything else. That was just me thinking out loud. No one else needed to hear that. But anyway, let's see. Steve. There it is. Okay, sharing that for y'all so y'all can see what we're doing. Now, I am going to, before I start the new mission and we start commentary, I am going to take this lovely captain of mine, and I am going to head to orbit of Kronos. And when I get there, I would like to see all of you that have already bought out the port. I would like all of you to show up. I know there's a bunch of you. I know there is, and I want to see you there. I'll wait a few minutes and hang out for y'all to show up. Once again, we are entering into spoiler territory here, so if you do not want to be spoiled in the new episode, a bunch of folks have said that in chat, that they're either heading out or putting us on mute while we go into spoiler stuff. Totally understandable, very happy for you guys to do that if you need. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to talk spoilery stuff. We're going to play through the mission. We're going to get some commentary live from the developers who worked on the mission. Yay! So hang on for that. And I'm just going to hang out for a minute and see how many more reports show up. Let's see. I see one. Yeah, this is a one. This is a report for sure, right?
Mike, I think you're going to hate me for saying this, but get more people if you were at a place where feds could access.
Hey, Jeremy, one thing that I've really had drilled into my head this week is that sometimes Federation players get things and sometimes Klingon players get things.
That's true. That is true. And while the ship is available to everyone, it's a Klingon ship.
It is a Klingon ship. So, I guess I could move to Deep Space Nine for this. I probably should move to Deep Space Nine.
In fact, on that subject, let me go ahead and respond real quick to KelMG, who's asked this a couple times in the chat.
I was going to talk about that later, but yeah, go ahead.
So the request is like unlocking the pve-c uniform for non-Klingons. But I do want to point out, like, there is a possibility this could change. If there's enough feedback, we will consider it. But I do want to point out, like, we do the same thing for Federation uniforms. Klingon characters and cable-line people can't wear Starfleet uniforms. And so this is just kind of turnabout in a way. Some things that are Klingon should remain Klingon. Klingon Mach, right? So
good job.
It is appropriate.
It's a pleasure to be acquainted. I'm Vakal Shan, captain of the USS Belfast. Admiral Quinn has recommended we team up for a high priority.
I won't set anything down in stone.
In the Klingon Empire. President Okeg has managed to arrange ceasefire negotiations on Kittimer, but the situation is delicate. The war with the Klingons has been ongoing for half a decade, and things have only escalated after the Undine infiltration. Still, this could be our one small chance to turn things around. Our job? Protect the President's delegation on board Starfleet 1 and safely escort them. I'll be waiting for you in the Khitomer system. Captain Cogran, a capable warrior, and our Imperial liaison will be meeting us there. By combining our strengths, we're sure to boldly go where no one has gone before.
This is President Okeg aboard Starfleet 1. Remember, this conference is vital to the future of the galaxy.
Captain Sean here. Copy that, Mr. President. Best foot forwards at all times. The crew of the Belfast has been briefed.
Captain Cogran, Klingon Empire Liaison to Anik Okeg, standing by. President, the IKS Nima is ready to escort you.
Giggity?
Good to see you, and right on time, as expected of a true Starfleet officer. Sometimes that makes all the difference. We need to get the President's ship, Starfleet 1, within transporter range of the coordinates provided by the Klingons, and get the all-clear to beam down to Khitomer. I'll be assigned to the President once we arrive, and you'll be securing the premises. Speaking of, let me introduce you to my Chief of Security, Lieutenant Paris. She's a damn fine officer, and a quarter Klingon, too. Not unhelpful when it comes to building relations.
Miral Paris, Chief of Security of the USS Belfast, but Lieutenant will do. Nice to meet you. I get the feeling we'll make an excellent team. Ready to get to work.
I hope you don't mind me checking in along the way. This meeting is delicate, and I'd like to make sure everyone is prepared.
Glad to have you with us, Mr. President. Any words of wisdom before we arrive?
Khitomer is a key location in the history of our two civilizations, and home to many important meetings.
This planet hosted the Khitomer Conference of 2293, if I'm not mistaken.
Conspiracies aside, the final outcome was historic, and its gift of peace lasted for generations.
Let's hope for a similar outcome today. Your attendance is as much of a security risk as it is a show of goodwill.
Lieutenant.
It is up to the Federation to take this first critical step. We cannot allow a repeat of Cestus 3.
Sir, sensors are picking up several Gorn vessels in the area. It's an ambush.
Rebel Gorn! So some of them are willing to stand up and fight after all. Ma!
This is Okeg. Starfleet 1 is under fire. Shields won't hold for long.
Hang tight, Mr. President. We won't let you down.
Will fall!
what they want, then the Belfast is happy to oblige.
No bold moves, Lieutenant. Focus on Starfleet 1.
Disrupt the conference! The Starian must perish! The ship must fall!
The ranks are thinning. I'm detecting fewer Gorn starships in the system, Captain.
We have bested these missiles. They were ready to die just to take out your president in battle.
Starfleet 1, this is the USS Belfast. What's your status? President Okeg, do you copy?
USS Belfast, IKS Nema. This is the President. We're all right. Just a bit shaky.
Mr. President, we need to postpone this conference. It's much too great of a risk for you to take. Our scan should have picked up on that ambush.
Postponing this conference is not an option, Captain Sean. This ceasefire deal could be the Federation's only chance to eventually make peace with the Klingon Empire. If that involves some degree of risk, then so be it. The members of my delegation joined this mission informed and ready for the task. However, this attack does beg a question. How exactly did the Gorn hide from our sensors?
The Belfast and the IKS Nema have sustained minor damage as well. Most of the Gorn attacks were directed at Starfleet 1, and presumably President Okeg. However, aside from a few fluctuations in deflector harmonics and a brief spike in secondary EPS flow regulators, nothing approaches critical thresholds. The President's ship is holding up fine, all things considered. The Belfast will run a scan as well. Something does feel off. Activating long-range sensors and tachyon detection grid. Sensors are clear, sir. No threats detected, masked or otherwise.
Let's resume course before that changes.
Attacking Klingons is one thing, but the Federation? I find the circumstances of this Gorn ambush a little odd.
I agree. The Gorn should have challenged my vessel instead. Fought against one of their Klingon conquerors. Cowards.
The Gorn shouldn't have been able to close in on Starfleet 1. We need to improve our response time.
President Okeg, the Klingon Empire acknowledges the arrival of your delegation to Khitomer. Our orbital defense post received reports of a rebel strike within the system, but readings were delayed due to the Gorn's chronoton masking fields. Still, your survival in the face of this unexpected obstacle bodes well. Perhaps you are worthy allies after all. You are cleared to beam down.
The Federation is honored to be received on Khitomer. I can assure you that your openness to meeting with us is not misplaced. Our delegation's security escort dealt with the Gorn attack swiftly, thanks to the combined efforts of our respective captains. We will be beaming down shortly. Captains, when you're ready.
Once you've made it planetside, Lieutenant Paris will brief you on security measures. Remember, stay sharp. Confidence is key, but so is efficiency. History tends to repeat itself, and with Kittimer, that could be a problem. I'll meet you on the ground, and whatever comes, meet it head on. There's no time to second guess.
Miral, or should I say, Lieutenant Paris.
Doctor, I've missed you. You haven't aged a day.
Well, I am afraid that's how it works. But if it would put you at ease, I can add an aging subroutine to my matrix.
Not on my behalf. You're perfect, just the way you are. Are you part of the President's delegation?
That's right, as the leading expert on species 8472. President Okeg is hoping that sharing our research with the Klingons will make up for our dismissal of the Undine threat. This, and a ceasefire deal, will hopefully lead to lasting peace between our people.
The Doctor pioneered research on the Undine aboard Voyager. It was considered revolutionary, both then and now. It is a pleasure to meet you, especially after your crew's incredible performance in the Kittimer system. I will let you get on with your security tasks and prepare for the conference. Doctor?
Good to finally meet you in person. Admiral Quinn's told me quite a lot about you. All good things, of course. Lieutenant Paris can give you a more detailed brief, but suffice it to say, we're looking to secure the whole premises. Make sure nothing's been tampered with.
It's nice to put a real face to the name. We need to secure the building. I recommend starting with the courtyard in the next room. Oh, and keep in mind, we're in a melting pot of different cultures and delegations right now, but let's try to stay focused and keep our distance.
Ah, hold it right there. Just a moment. Greetings. I am the Emergency Medical Hologram Mark I, but you may call me Doctor. A pleasure to meet you, I am sure. If I may offer a recommendation, while I doubt you will encounter any Undine infiltrators here, you may still find my latest research quite riveting, should you wish to test it out. Here is a parameter you may use to optimize your tricorder for species 8472 biosignature detection. The science behind it is nothing short of remarkable. The settings account for polyfluidic.
I'll follow your lead.
Ambassador Jiro Sugihara of the Federation Diplomatic Corps. I have to admit that the Klingons were right about the Undine infiltration of the Gorn hegemony, but I don't agree with the war they waged. Diplomacy and peaceful negotiation should come first, always. Anyway, I've been told I should keep my opinions to myself, and even more so if we manage to broker peace.
The importance of today's conference cannot be overstated. I am grateful for your assistance.
A Starfleet officer receiving classified information from the Klingon intelligence? Which, pooh! I suppose you'd have me sharpen your bat'leth too. I suggest you focus on your task.
Starfleet Intelligence conducted a preliminary sweep of Kittimer some weeks ago.
Klingon public opinion of the Federation is not favorable. Well, while there are no Admiral Cartwrights in the crowd today, we have identified a person of interest. A Klingon by the name of Bavat will be in attendance. He's a...
All right, let's start with this area.
A Klingon in a Starfleet uniform? Just bah!
Pitiful. Scans are clear. It seems... Running another scan.
Another rebel attack in Klingon space. Reprehensible.
King Slathis does not assent to these renegade acts.
Done. We can check this room off our list. If the Gorn delegation is telling the truth, then the ambush we just thwarted was a rebel attack, and not a revolt instigated by the Gorn hegemony. Still, it seemed very coordinated. Leave no stone unturned.
I am Ambassador Koss of the Klingon Empire. I wish to meet with the Kuvah-Mach.
Ah, the Kuvah-Mach is an ancient myth. Paris is an impostor, a traitor to her people.
Peace with the Federation. Kretor vo narde krapu.
No threats detected. Quite a few opinions floating around today, huh? I say we speed things up and move on to the next room. Fine. You're right. You might know this already, but there's an ancient Klingon religious text that describes the Kuvah-Mach, or Savior, as a figure that will restore the Klingon Empire back to its original glory. Many Klingons believe me to be this Kuvah-Mach because of the events that occurred in the Delta Quadrant aboard Voyager. My genetic material played a part in helping a group of Klingons. I'm happy to answer any questions about that if you think it's beneficial to our... What do you want to know? The prophecy foretells the arrival of a messianic savior, Kuvah-Mach. It is said that this figure is stronger than sickness itself and destined to heal the Klingon people, leading them to glory. Some even say the Klingons will know the Kuvah-Mach before the Kuvah-Mach themselves know the world. A spiritual recognition, if you will. What do you want to know? Whereas some Klingons are devoted to the Kuvah-Mach, others disbelieve the figure's existence. Some even treat these religious texts as unworthy epics or conspiracy theories. Either way, I'm caught in the middle of a divided empire when all I ever wanted was to make the universe a better... What do you want to know? I was born aboard the USS Voyager, and as I said earlier, the Doctor is my godfather. In 2377, Voyager encountered a group of Klingon pilgrims aboard a D7-class battlecruiser. They were looking for the Kuvah-Mach because they were dying from a virus called the Nechret, which they originally believed to be nothing but old age. In order to save them, the Doctor resorted to using my genetic material to create a cure. Miraculously, it worked. What do you want to know? Tricorder, ready.
What weight could a conference possibly hold without the attendance of Gemfuck? Ha!
Yedoko! Walden is here in his stead. Now is not the time for dissent.
I'm detecting... false alarm. Just some residual readings. Preparing to scan.
We're all set, my good sir.
I will hold you accountable if this fails. There can be no deviation from the plan. Nach, Lodgmit.
Of course, I will not disappoint. We have an agreement after all. Let's disperse.
A Klingon ambassador with a human attendant? I don't recognize the staffer, but I believe that's Ambassador... I don't know about you, but I think I've heard enough. And I trust that our intelligence units will monitor any outliers among the attendees. I suggest we have a look at our scan results instead. My... This technology doesn't match any known Federation or Klingon designs. Huh. Faint traces of verteron particles.
Cogran, it is simple, I assure you. Undine biology is adaptive, with a morphogenic cellular structure.
I am no scientist, but I do not dispute the utility of weaponry meant to identify and eradicate the Undine.
It's unfortunate we still know so little about them, despite the doctor's research.
Ah, morale. Your disposition suggests that there were no polyfluidic phase variances to report.
That's correct. No Undine infiltrators, Doctor. But we did find something else. Captain Sean, Captain Cogran, we've discovered an unidentified device in the Hall of Heroes. Its origin cannot be traced and its functionalities are unknown. It doesn't appear to pose an immediate threat, but we can't be sure. Will you work on disabling the device while I transmit our findings to the rest of the team?
Good idea. That device is cause for concern. Even if it turns out to be harmless, we can't afford to take any chances. Let's confer with President Okeg.
I agree. This poses a considerable security risk. However, I'm too optimistic about the turn.
Setting up a containment field, and done. Ready for transport. USS Belfast, this is Lieutenant Paris. We are beaming up an unidentifiable device for analysis. Stand by.
The conference will begin shortly. All attendees must gather in the Hall of Heroes, immediately.
Fellow delegations, the Federation is here today to seek peace with the Empire, in the hopes that it will be long-lasting. We believe we have been at odds for too long, and hope to prove today that our worth as allies is greater than our worth as foes. As a first act, we propose a ceasefire, then allying against a common enemy, the Undine. I have with me an expert who will share...
All this talk and no action! Why trust you, Okeg? Your Federation has already proven it does not respect the Empire! In the case of the Undine imposters in the Gorn hegemony, the Klingons were right all along, yet you failed to heed us.
You are right, and I know that Federation and Empire relations have often been tense. that our history is riddled with mistrust, that you believe we failed you on the topic of the infiltrators in the Gorn hegemony, and that our ways have been human-centric. But like Chancellor Gorkon, this Saurian too believes in the undiscovered country, and has read Shakespeare in the original Klingon. We'd like to start by sharing our classified research with you on the Undine, as a gesture of good faith. Doctor?
Greetings. You may call me the Doctor. It is an honor to speak to such a fine audience. I will be handing out data pads after our speech, so do stick around should you wish to discuss the details. As you all undoubtedly know, with great scientific advancement comes great responsibility. While ethics are not on the agenda, I am obliged to mention the dangers of the technology we have developed and the risk it poses to non-Undine life forms.
The Belfast is transmitting the results of the analysis performed on the unidentified device. It seems it's...
But I digress. To the crux of the matter, I have created technology that pairs modified tricorders with experimental nanoprobes. The tricorders, while still a prototype, detect the presence of Undine biosignatures. The nanoprobes are then... pardon me. My matrix.
Captain Sean, that device disrupts holo-emitter signals. Doctor!
Hegemony! We curse the Empire!
Captain! They've taken the Doctor!
Miral, look out!
Thanks. We need to take down these Gorn and retrieve the Doctor. Now!
Belfast, this is Sean. Khitomer Conference is under attack. Monitor all activity in orbit. No one leaves.
I knew I should have brought some cryo grenades along. We need to take down the last remaining Gorn.
Our warriors have identified additional rebel Gorn on the ground. It won't be long before they reach our location.
I assure you the Federation has nothing to do with this, Captain Cogran. I can't say this.
I'm coming with you. We need to retrieve the doctor.
All right, but I know you well, Moral. Get back in one piece, and no unnecessary risks. That's also non-negotiable. Understood? Cogran and I will stay behind to deal with the Gorn and evacuate.
This is Lieutenant Paris aboard the Belfast. We have a lock on Bavat's ship, the IKS Warvig. Recommend we hail them together before we take any drastic measures. Diplomacy first.
Note, you dare not fight a real Klingon, one of prowess and might? I suppose your hail is meant to initiate some sort of negotiation. Which, I do not negotiate with those who would see the Klingon Empire become docile. Request denied. It would...
My heart is just fine, Bavat. I wish we could say the same for you, you mahwi. The Klingon Empire agreed to convene on the Federation's ceasefire proposal. It is you who is in violation of the agreement, and in direct disobedience of the High Council. They should have you discommended, you pet. Bavat has escaped with the doctor. The Belfast is tracking his ship's ion trail. Time to show these what we're made of. Give it all you got.
Belfast, this is Captain Sean.
Receiving a hail from the
under control on Kittimer.
I'm opening a multi-channel.
We found a second device on stage attached to the podium and neutralized it. The device has the ability to disrupt photonic emissions and store holographic data, like a capsule. What's your status? Belfast, this is Captain Sean.
I missed a device, but we scanned the entire area. How is that possible? I increased my tricorder sensor aperture. I ran a multispectral sweep. I even enhanced subspace resolution and set up a level 3 perimeter scan. I should have set up a level 4 scan.
Steady, Lieutenant. The first device was no doubt a red herring planted in the room to distract us from the second, which in turn was shielded from our sensors by an experimental chronoton-charged cloaking field. That second device was ever so slightly displaced in time. Your tricorder couldn't have picked up on it. It took a whole group of scientists from several different delegations to come to that same conclusion.
Captain, we need to go after the doctor. The Belfast is tracking Bavat's warp signature ion trail and projected course. I've got all the data I need.
What the Belfast needs to do is remain stationed in orbit of Khitomer while President Okeg meets with the Klingon High Council. This attack has led to some very tense exchanges and great mistrust in the Federation and Gorn delegations. Going after the Doctor is too risky. We'll need to send our data over to an experienced strike team and let them handle it.
I agree. Besides, the Doctor is not only one of the most brilliant minds in Starfleet, but he's also my godfather.
I can't argue with that. But for that same reason, I'll need you back in one piece after your mission.
One to beam over. Quite the fine ship you have. Here's the data the Belfast retrieved during our encounter with the Klingons. We've tracked the Warvig to the Hatoria system. We've arrived, and in enemy territory, no less. Sensors are picking up on multiple vessels in the area. Klingon patrol ships. Planetary archives also show Hatoria is home to a large nebula and an abandoned facility on the ground. I'm guessing that's where Bavad is holding the Doctor. We can either use the nebula's ionized gas to scatter our ship signal and travel at low impulse to conceal our movements till we reach transporter range, or we can go in guns blazing and risk alerting the Klingons on the ground. Your call. Recommend we travel at low velocity. 1/4 impulse should do the trick. We've reached the halfway mark. Hang in there, Doctor. We're coming for you. All right, we're nearing the target coordinates. Time to prepare a team. We're almost within transporter range of Hatoria. Let's move on. We are within transporter range. I don't think the Klingons have detected us yet. Still, we better bring some backup. Ready to...
As I was saying, the nanoprobes developed to counter the Undine are Wait a minute. Where am I?
Bajach Emelv, you fool! Sing, the data! Is it ready?
Soon, Bavat. I am extracting the genetic information from the doctor's holomatrix. It'll take some time to bypass his security subroutines.
You know, in some cultures, it is considered ill-mannered to interrupt a sentient life form, especially a brilliant physician. If you're interested, my research paper, The Art of Turn-Taking, a study on conversational analysis in Delta Quadrant species, has...
Hold your tongue, you insufferable projection of wasted photons!
According to the Federation's archives, this facility used to be a penal colony and still houses functional security systems to this day. Speaking of, I'm picking up on a photonic signal that matches the doctor's holosignature, but it's faint. My guess is he's being held in one of the facility's lower levels. Stay alert. We don't... I'll cover you. Lead the way.
Unlock your security protocols and give me the data, Patak!
Ambassador Bavat, this is absolutely ludicrous behavior and very dishonorable, I'll have you know. I refuse to be probed any further. If you have developed a passion for genetics, then I encourage you to conduct your own research. I am sure you will find the funding.
Sing, increase the hologram sensitivity calibrations, and bypass safety protocols.
That hurt! This is not how one treats a guest in their repurposed prison. Perhaps it is.
They're hurting him. I'm sending out an electromagnetic pulse to disrupt that console. It'll buy us some time. By tampering with the doctor's sensitivity calibrations... By tampering with the doctor's sensitivity calibrations, Bavat and Singh are making sure that he feels pain the way a biological life form would. Effectively, they're torturing him. I know, not a bad plan. We'll investigate the facility as we head towards the doctor's coordinates. But let's do this quickly. Before you go any further, let's talk about the facility's security sweeps. Some areas of the facility are being scanned periodically by security consoles. Unapproved life forms that come into contact with the scans will likely trigger an alarm. Alerting nearby enemies or heightening security protocols. Heads up. The area ahead of us is being scanned. My scans are picking up on low-level electromagnetic signals coming from beyond that sweep. Now what do we have in here? Consoles running on residual power.
Amar Noonian Singh Research Log, File 13. My first experiment proved unsuccessful. A disappointment. The host biology is highly aggressive at the cellular level and rejecting genetic input. I will adapt my Amar Noonian Singh Research Log, File 14. Results are now beginning to show promise, but I fear I might have overcompensated. Rapid mutation has led to instability in the subject genome. To counter this, Amar Noonian Singh Research Log, File 19. After careful calculations, I have achieved my first breakthrough, whereas some...
They're experimenting on people.
The primary focus of the project is gerontology, the study of aging in various life forms. The Federation Science Council has given me permission to test various forms of genetic modification to find treatments of degenerative diseases such as Irumodic syndrome. We're making significant progress.
Yes. How did Bhavat and Singh get their hands on proprietary Federation logs? We can't let them keep this data. We need to...
It's not a proud moment in Earth's history either. Khan was the greatest of the augmented conquerors in the eugenics wars. He was the ruler of more than a quarter of Earth, and he treated those he ruled like slaves. Unlike some of the other so-called genetic supermen, Khan only enslaved his people rather than massacre them. Some consider him to be the best of the tyrants. When the people rose up against the augment tyrants, Khan and some of his people escaped into space on a sleeper ship. I suspect you heard a lot about Khan's clashes with Captain Kirk at Starfleet Academy. I remember running the Mutara Nebula simulator in my senior year there. It was a singular experience.
I'm all for eradicating degenerative diseases, but not if it means another eugenics war or the creation of genetically engineered slaves. Singh's plan seems to align more with the latter and not with the Federation's work. My guess is they copied our research, but looks like a security sweep can be deactivated from that console. Security functionality deactivated. Let's move on. I'm detecting life signs in the room ahead.
Klingon Mach, Grethor's gates stand ready to welcome you.
A Bhavat welcoming committee. That's too kind. Remind me to thank him later with phaser fire. That's all of them. Let's look around for anything that might help us.
Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log File 22. Subject GU75's DNA. Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log File 28. This will be my last entry on Subject GU75.
Doctor's Log Supplemental Stardate 86324.7. In preparation for the Kittimer, it appears that Seven and I pioneered research on species 8472.
I don't think Singh and Bavat are acting on behalf of the Klingon Empire. They must be acting independently. Looks like we can deactivate a security sweep from in here. This room is clear. Another security sweep. We should check this room. Some of these consoles are still active. No doctor in here, but maybe we'll find something that can help us.
Amar Noonian Singh, Research Log File 31. In the wake of Subject GU...
Doctor's Log Supplemental, Stardate 54518.2. The genetic material retrieved from the unborn Klingon hybrid by the name of Miral Paris, sampled with the consent of her parents, Lieutenant Miral is doing well. I know that the crew of Voyager will protect her, at least until she comes...
That must be exactly what Singh and Bavat have planned, but you know the drill. That's it. Deactivated. Let's keep moving. Klingon and Gorn life signs up ahead. Prepare for a fight.
Have you come as a sacrifice, Kubak?
With Book, the only thing I'm sacrificing is my time, you useless car.
Glory to the Gorn, and Bavat the benefactor. All shall fall. This is the price.
These Gorn are too far gone and blinded by Bavat's empty promises.
Surrender yourself, Kubak Mak, or prepare to die with dishonor.
That Gorn looks similar to the ones who disrupted the Kittimer conference. Let's press on. I'm sure the doctor is counting on us. Tricorders are detecting a photonic signature further ahead. Lead the way. There are too many security sweeps in this hallway to evade. There are too many security sweeps in this hallway to... There are too many security sweeps in this hallway to evade. We have to keep investigating to deactivate them somehow. There are too many security sweeps in this hallway to evade. We have to keep investigating to deactivate them somehow. This console doesn't appear to deactivate the security sweeps, but I see another one. This appears to be a security console connected to an audio-visual feed.
The exobiology lab is ready, Bavat. We are only missing the data.
Huicha! How hard can it be to retrieve data from a hologram?
Ambassador, may I remind you that I am the Emergency Medical Hologram Mark I. I served aboard the USS Voyager during
Silence! Do you wish to have your vocal interface deactivated, you insufferable tar? Quiet. Someone is watching.
Miral.
Hello, Kuvachmach.
Damn it! I recognize that tune. It was a song he used to sing to me when I was a child. It was written by Kolar, commander of the IKS Shan and his people. The piece is dedicated to the Kuvachmach. The part the doctor is humming goes, Kuvachmach, follow no longer. Find a trap or not, I won't abandon him. There must be something else we can do. Maybe we can... That might just work. If they're willing to go to these lengths just to retrieve my genetic material, then... Some security parameters were shut down when Bavat cut the feed. Stay sharp. The area ahead is being scanned. This must be the exobiology lab. You know, I minored in biogenetics at Starfleet Academy. Time to put those skills to good use. A sample of Klingon polynucleotide clusters. Creative, but I'm not sure about adding Gorn chromosomal markers. A sample of human genomic base pairs. This mix might just do the trick, at least for now. Time to enact our plan.
The data has almost been decrypted, pve-c. Soon, we will be able to dispose of the hologram.
Miral, what are you still doing here? I mean, a Klingon hybrid I have never seen before.
Don't worry, Doctor. We're here to break you out.
Lieutenant Miral Paris, or should I say pve-c, here to take your friend's place? He's kept your seat warm.
Let him go.
And why would I do that?
Because we have what you need. A sample of my DNA. The missing piece to your scientific puzzle. You're creating an army, right?
I am creating a movement. Soon all will pledge their allegiance to the new Klingon Empire and bow before its ruler.
That's only a fantasy without my DNA, pve-c. I'll give you the sample if you release the doctor.
Miral, I strongly advise you do not.
You're bluffing. Hand it to my assistant, now.
Let the doctor go first.
Fine. Free the captive, Singh. This is a ruse, a counterfeit. Now, Singh.
Let's see how you fare against my latest experiments.
The doctor's genetic research will have to do for now. Time is on my side. Can you say the same, pve-c?
We can't let him escape!
Miral, no! It's too dangerous! I'll go!
I love you, but you've got to trust me. I have to go after him, and you're needed here. You're the galaxy's only hope against the Undine. I don't know where I'm headed, but if I make it, I'll give you a sign. Protect the doctor. I'll go after pve-c. We'll meet again!
If you handle the fighting, I will search my database for intelligence on the Gorn. Should you require medical assistance, then I will be at your disposal, if you stay alive, that is. I'm a doctor, not a miracle worker. Gorn are ectothermic creatures, and therefore vulnerable to the cold. Use your environment. They are also apex predators, with instinct-driven threat responses. Augmentation has driven these Gorn to insanity. You've weakened them. Keep it up. It's our only chance to make it out alive.
What a fight! I was anxious, even as an onlooker. Well done! We've got an unethical scientist on the loose. Where is Singh? I am registering his biosignature, coming from a nearby transporter room.
This is Singh. IKS Warwick. Come in. Anyone!
Not so fast, Singh. The jig is up.
Fine. But if you think apprehending me will have any effect on my plans with pve-c, you are deluded. All of your ruses are pitiful. Your genetic concoction of Klingon and human DNA did not even pass a silence. The Kuvak Mak has followed pve-c as intended, and him and I have a deal. He will lead his army, and I will become a renowned ruler.
I've dealt... Yes, he did. I suggest... Nothing a tricorder scan won't illuminate. Oh my. Your scans reveal the presence of residual chronoton particles. I'm afraid it will be difficult to pinpoint on our own. I suggest you report back to Starfleet.
My army promises glory to the Empire and its great houses. A new dawn, a new era for the worthy warrior. Together, we will finally become an empire worthy of Kalesh. We will wipe out the Federation and conquer their people once and for all. Kapla!
Klingon! Klingon! Klingon!
What?
Giggity?
Where am I?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
My name is Jeff.
I wish I could say our mission was a total success, but my chief of security is unaccounted for, and the conference hasn't unfolded as President Okeg had hoped. pve-c is still out there somewhere, but there's still a glimmer of hope in all of this. Somehow, Captain Cogran has convinced the High Council to consider the ceasefire. What's more, Starfleet Intelligence has asked me to relay an unusual message. Apparently, they received an encrypted transmission from Lieutenant Paris, addressed to you. The stardate attributed to it is unexpected. Even so, you have my thanks for retrieving the Doctor, and for bringing Amar Noonien Singh to justice. I'm putting my faith in you. Track down pve-c to ensure he answers for his crime.
Listen up. The war has not been going well for the Federation, and the Klingons are... Listen up. The war has not been going well for the Federation, and the Klingons are advancing to our position. We need to hold off their ships until reinforcements can arrive. We expect the Klingons to attack and win. Here they come! Reading some heavier ships incoming! Raiders and battle cruisers! Klingons are regrouping again. Get into position to prepare for the next assault.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Here come the Klingon battleships. Keep fighting! That'll hold them off, for now. I don't know how much longer we can keep up with this kind of war. It was a good one. At least there will be a tomorrow.